Across vast wildernesses and suburban edges, life often faces its harshest tests. For many young ungulates, deer, elk, moose, and antelope, the early days of life can be cut short by tragedy, leaving them orphaned and vulnerable. Without their mothers, these delicate creatures face an almost certain demise. This is where a dedicated network of wildlife rehabilitators steps in, offering a lifeline. Their mission, to meticulously guide these young animals through a multi-month journey, from the brink of collapse back to the wild where they belong. It's a painstaking process, demanding expertise, patience, and profound dedication. The rehabilitation process begins with a distress call, a fawn found alone, an elk calf stranded. Often, these young animals are discovered by concerned citizens who then contact local wildlife authorities or rehabilitation centers. Upon arrival, a critical assessment phase begins. Rehabilitators evaluate the animal's physical condition, looking for injuries, dehydration, or signs of illness. Determining the species and age is crucial, as each ungulate has unique care requirements. This initial intake sets the foundation for their entire journey, ensuring immediate medical needs are addressed and a personalized care plan can be formulated. For the youngest orphans, especially those still requiring milk, neonatal care is the most critical phase. Many arrive as newborns, highly susceptible to hypothermia and dehydration. Specialized incubators or warm, secure enclosures provide the necessary environment. The first few days are often a round-the-clock vigil. Rehabilitators focus on stabilizing body temperature, providing fluids, and initiating precise feeding schedules. This period is fraught with challenges, as these tiny lives are incredibly fragile, and even minor missteps can have dire consequences for their survival and long-term health. Bottle feeding an orphaned ungulate is far more complex than it appears. It requires species-specific milk replacers, carefully formulated to mimic the fat, protein, and lactose content of their natural mother's milk. For a white-tailed deer fawn, this might mean a specific ratio different from an elk calf or a moose calf. Strict hygiene is paramount to prevent digestive issues and infections. Feedings occur frequently, sometimes every few hours for newborns, gradually spacing out as they grow. This intensive manual feeding is not just about nutrition, it's the closest bond a rehabilitator forms, yet it must be carefully managed to avoid human imprinting. Beyond milk replacers, nutrition protocols evolve as the ungulates grow. Each species has distinct dietary needs. Deer fawns will transition to browsing on leaves and twigs, while elk and moose calves require more fibrous forage. Antelope may have a diet emphasizing forbs and grasses. Rehabilitators meticulously research and provide a diverse array of natural vegetation, supplemented with species-appropriate grains and minerals. This ensures proper development of their digestive systems, bone structure, and overall health, preparing their bodies for the rigors of a wild diet. Any dietary imbalance can severely impact their chances of survival post-release. The dietary needs among ungulates vary significantly, a crucial factor in successful rehabilitation. White-tailed deer and mule deer fawns are primarily browsers, requiring a diet rich in leaves, twigs, and woody plants. Elk and moose calves, on the other hand, are adapted to a more fibrous diet of grasses and forbs, with moose incorporating aquatic vegetation. Antelope fawns need a high-protein diet of forbs and palatable grasses. Rehabilitators must mimic these natural diets precisely, avoiding generic feeds that could lead to digestive upset or nutritional deficiencies, which are detrimental to their long-term health and readiness for the wild. A core principle of ungulate rehabilitation is minimizing human imprinting. While bottle feeding creates a necessary proximity, rehabilitators employ strategies to prevent these young animals from associating humans with comfort and safety. Interaction is strictly limited to essential care, with no petting, talking, or unnecessary handling. Visual barriers might be used, and handlers often wear neutral clothing or specific scents to reduce recognition. The goal is for the animals to retain their natural wariness of humans, a crucial survival instinct they will need once released into the wild. To encourage natural instincts and prevent boredom in captivity, environmental enrichment is a vital component. This includes providing diverse substrates, natural cover like brush piles, and objects for interaction such as logs or branches to rub against. Foraging toys or hidden food sources stimulate their natural browsing and grazing behaviors. These elements help develop coordination, strength, and problem-solving skills, which are all essential for survival in the wild. The goal is to ensure they are physically and mentally robust, not merely surviving but thriving in a simulated natural environment. The weaning process marks a significant milestone in an ungulate's rehabilitation journey. It's a gradual transition from milk to a fully solid diet, mimicking the natural progression in the wild. This typically begins around 3 to 4 months of age, though it varies by species. Milk feedings are slowly reduced, replaced by increased access to forage, hay, and appropriate browse. This stage requires careful monitoring to ensure the young animals are adapting well, maintaining weight, and their digestive systems are adjusting. A smooth weaning is vital for establishing independent foraging skills. For many ungulate species, living in a herd or group is fundamental to survival. Rehabilitators strive to house compatible young animals together, fostering natural social behaviors. Fawns learn to interact, establish hierarchies, and find comfort in the presence of their own kind. This group dynamic is crucial for developing appropriate communication, predator awareness through collective vigilance, and reducing stress. While a human cannot teach these complex social cues, a peer group provides the vital lessons needed for reintegration into a wild herd, strengthening their collective survival instincts. Social interaction among young ungulates is not merely about companionship, it's a critical learning experience. Observing older, more experienced rehabilitated peers can teach fawns crucial survival skills that humans cannot. They learn proper body language, how to interpret warnings, and cooperative foraging. Play fighting helps develop strength and agility for escaping predators or establishing dominance. These peer-to-peer lessons reduce the stress of being alone and reinforce their identity as wild ungulates, forming essential bonds and behaviors that prepare them for integration into a wild herd. One of the most challenging aspects of rehabilitation is instilling a natural fear of predators. Without a mother's guidance, young ungulates lack crucial lessons in recognizing and avoiding threats. Rehabilitators often use subtle, non-traumatic methods to introduce predator scents, sounds, or even visual cues from a distance. The goal is to elicit an innate flight response, enhancing their wariness without causing undue stress or conditioning them to fear humans. This critical training significantly boosts their chances of survival in a predator-rich environment post-release. As release approaches, the young ungulates are often moved to larger, pre-release enclosures within a suitable natural habitat. These enclosures expose them to the specific weather patterns, flora, and fauna of their eventual release site. This acclimation period allows them to experience varied temperatures, rain, and snow, strengthening their resilience. They learn to identify natural food sources available in that particular environment and become familiar with the sounds and smells of their future home. This step is critical for minimizing the shock of transition into the wild. Beyond just environmental acclimation, a period of physical conditioning is essential. In the final weeks or months before release, the animals are encouraged to become more self-sufficient, with less direct human intervention. Food provisions may be reduced or scattered to promote natural foraging efforts over easy access. Their enclosure space is maximized to allow for extensive running, jumping, and exploring, building muscle and stamina. This intensive conditioning ensures they possess the physical prowess and mental fortitude required to escape predators, find food, and withstand the elements in the wild. Before the final release, each ungulate undergoes a thorough health examination. Veterinarians and rehabilitators conduct full physicals, ensuring they are free of disease, parasites, and any lingering injuries. Blood work, fecal tests, and dental checks are common. Their weight, muscle tone, and overall body condition are assessed to confirm they are robust enough for independent survival. Any animal not meeting stringent health and behavioral criteria will remain in care or receive further treatment, delaying release until they are optimally prepared for the challenges ahead. The decision to release an ungulate is not taken lightly, it follows rigorous criteria. Only individuals who exhibit robust physical health, appropriate weight, and strong wild behaviors are considered. They must demonstrate a clear aversion to humans, an ability to forage independently, and ideally, have socialized successfully with other ungulates. Any signs of dependency, illness, or unusual tameness would disqualify them, as releasing an unprepared animal is a death sentence. This stringent selection process maximizes their chances of long-term survival and successful integration into wild populations. Despite meticulous preparation, reintegration into the wild presents significant challenges. Finding food, navigating unfamiliar territory, avoiding predators, and integrating into existing wild herds are all hurdles. The rehabilitation process aims to equip them with every tool, but nature remains unpredictable. Animals released individually may struggle more than those released in groups. The success rate varies, underscoring the delicate balance between human intervention and fostering true wilderness instincts. Every released animal is a testament to overcoming these immense obstacles. The moment of release is the culmination of months of dedicated work. Often conducted at dawn or dusk, when animals are naturally most active, it involves carefully opening the gates of their pre-release enclosure. Rehabilitators observe from a distance, allowing the ungulates to step out on their own terms, into a new chapter of their lives. It's a bittersweet moment, a profound sense of accomplishment mixed with the knowledge that their journey, now truly independent, has only just begun. This is the ultimate goal, seeing them disappear into the trees, reclaiming their wild heritage. For some rehabilitated ungulates, post-release monitoring is possible, often through discrete ear tags or telemetry collars. This allows researchers to track their movements, observe their integration into wild populations, and assess their long-term survival rates. Data collected from monitoring provides invaluable insights into the effectiveness of rehabilitation techniques and helps refine future protocols. While not always feasible for every animal, these studies highlight the ongoing commitment to ensuring these second chances truly lead to thriving wild lives. The efforts of wildlife rehabilitators extend beyond individual animals. By returning healthy, wild-adapted ungulates to their natural habitats, they contribute to local wildlife populations and biodiversity. Each successful release represents not just a saved life, but also a reinforcement of ecological balance. It's a testament to the compassion and scientific rigor that underpins this vital work, proving that with careful intervention, even the most vulnerable can be given a second chance at a wild existence, strengthening our ecosystems one animal at a time.